because they really feel like they're humming at the moment. And I'd really like that what they've got out of Tracy, what they've got out of Crichton, and what they're getting out of Sexton. And I would just wonder how much that was a plan to get Sexton up and going in reserve grade, or whether it's just they've realised they needed him there. I'd be interested to know one day whether we do. I don't know. But he's nailed that spot.
Definitely.
If you're watching on YouTube, well, this will be the new section, but we will preview round 15, which is another very interesting round. And we said in the review that it's one of the closest comps all year, and we're just at this stage where every round there's 4 games that make tipping comps very annoying to be part of, to be honest. But check out PCTC, which I was also annoyed to be part of after someone in the racing competition landed a 160-point winner after I thought I was doing well to have a 100-point lead in the comp. But anyway, story. It's the second time it's happened in a winter comp, but I'm not bitter. Great competition. Check them out on Facebook, Threads, and Insta. Gaz is a champion, does a very good job there. You'll be back or you're in the footy comp, but you'll be back for spring, no doubt.
Me, I try to. It's just hard with work.
Yeah,
hard to
Saturdays.
Working Saturdays. It's difficult, but yeah, I'll see if I can get back into it.
Anyway, check out Show Us Your Tips when we get to spring, by the way. Beaver and I are going all right at the moment. The rate if you enjoy some racing, but rugby league.
You didn't tip the $100 winner on the weekend.
No, I did look at it for the quaddie, but to be honest, it should never have been 100-1. If I knew it was going to go around 100-1, I would have mentioned it, but it just felt like a solid 20s chance.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's the Oaks, and this is the Sharks and the Dolphins from PointsBet Stadium, where Nico's back, which pushes Daniel Atkinson out of the side. Habib Noelli's back onto the bench with Autapoa dropping out. Hammer and Kafusi are both back from the Dolphins, which pushes Mark Nichols to the bench. No Trey Fuller. Cody Nikarima back to 6 to partner Qatar as usual. Bench is, Stone, Donahue make up the 16-17. Tessie New on an extended bench, but I dare say it's going to be hard for him to get back in front of Jake Averillo and Herbie Farnsworth. I think this is a cracking way to start the round, and I'm going to let you give your tips first.
I think the Sharks deservedly are the favourites after what they done last week, but for the Dolphins to be paying $3.34, like this is second versus fourth on the ladder.
I agree. That was my first thoughts, and it was a little bit the same last week with Manly were being $3.50 head to head. Like they're not $3.30 chances.
Yeah, and that was part of the reason why I tipped Manly last week. There's value there. Like it's I actually, if the phone was loading quicker, I could tell you what the line is, because that'd be very, very interesting to see what the line is, because there's a good chance I'll be taking whatever that is for the Dolphins.
I'll just see if I can pull it up as well. But tell us tell us what you think's going to happen though in terms of
Nico being back. I think just Nico being back and them at home. I think the Sharks will prevail.
Line's 9,
but
that's a very big line.
Yeah, and that's So I'm thinking, if the Sharks win it, they're winning. They were only winning 1-12, and they're the type of odds you expect to see when you expect a team to blow the other one out of the water.
Yeah.
So I Sharks 1-12. Nico coming back, point to prove, man of the match. Ronaldo first try scorer.
To me, we'll put it this way: Tigers are $2.30 head to head against Titans, and you're getting in terms of 50-50 2-horse market.
Yeah,
the odds are wrong.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like $1.60, $2 something would be more realistic.
And Nico's had this month where he seems to have just been a deer in the headlights the whole time. Can he bounce back?
I think so. I was reading something the other day. I think it was on Code Sport about he's only been a halfback for 2 years.
Yes. And
he's just, what halfback ever in the game has been ready for Origin after only 2 years?
Exactly right. Jerome Hughes, perhaps. But it's taken Jerome Hughes 5 years of being a halfback to get to where he is, admittedly.
And that's it. And they're going, he won a Dally M, blah, blah, blah. Well, he won a Dally M because, other people got suspended and injured and,
And also, that's right. He would have finished, third? I think Drinkwater wins last year if there's no suspension.
Yeah, it was something. Yeah, so it's well done. He won him fair and square, but everything, and it's kind of like what you and Barney have said previously. Every time they won, he just got the 3 points,
Yeah,
even if he wasn't the best on the field.
yeah,
The forwards, a props ran 190 meters, 5 tackle busts, 3 offloads, no points. Nico, 1 try assist, and a good kicking, an okay kicking game, 3 points.
exactly. I think I think he's naturally running 5'8" more than anything. Well, he's come from being fullback, but yeah, I think
Yeah,
he'd benefit. He'd be fantastic outside a genuine controlling half. But that all being said, in terms of this game, I really want to tip the upset, and I think I'm going to. I think I'm going to probably regret it after 10 minutes. We're going to tip Dolphins here, being at and if it was up at Suncorp, I'd almost be quite bullish.
I'd be on the Dolphins if it was at Suncorp.
Yeah, I'd be quite bullish. But look, we'll go the upset. I think it's just because it's a good one to pick up a point on some people in tipping comps. Hammer, red hot form, one of my favourite players now. I'm going to go with him for first try scorer, typical supporting play through the middle there. And off he goes. And geez, I think Max Plath is a proper player at the moment. Him and Katoa have been red hot. I'm going to go for him man of the match.
Do you think them coming off the bye also helps?
Absolutely. Given how physical that Brisbane game was, admittedly, they'll do most bashing the Sharks. I think it does.
Yep.
Some older legs, and even like your Kafusis of the world have now had 2 weeks off, basically.
Yeah.
Proper freshen up. Hammer saying,
you're almost talking me into swapping my chip, but I'll stay strong.
Stay strong because you only regret it. Friday at GIO. This is another interesting game. We're at GIO for the Raiders hosting the Cowboys, who are another team coming off the bye. Hudson Young's back, which pushes Mariota out of the back to the bench. Sasagi to the reserves. Tuolangi and Robson are both back. So Braden Burns drops out, Harrison Edwards drops out, and Jordan McLean pushes Griffin Neem to the bench. Nanai does start, so the back row is Lukey and Nanai. Tamalolo starts at 13 for Nafuiaki off the bench. Down to GEO, another team, GEO offer freshen up. They just get the job done. I'm going to tip the Raiders here 1-12. And I'm going to say, I just don't know. This way, I just can't trust the Cowboys. And Raiders games are never blowaways, and Cowboys just tend to be that team that gets the tail up and score points. And I don't think they're going to get a chance here. This could be another game where I think Raiders by 4. We don't really know how, but they just do it. KO Weeks starting to put together some really good stuff. Kicking games being strong. Was one of the stars of their win a couple back. And I'm going to go for him man of the match. First try scorer. These forwards don't tend to score. I'm sort of interested in the forward multi. Young and Whitehead, both chances of scoring, but they don't tend to score till later in the game. So let's go with Tomoko throwing one of those outside backs off and scoring first. What are your thoughts?
Another one where we were just talking about like the Cowboys and how good their squad is. If you're lining those players up, there's not many Raiders that make that Cowboys side on paper, you would think. But your Raiders are the favourites, and deservedly so.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think the Raiders 13 plus personally. I do think they're going to be able to put a bit of a score on them. The biggest difference, it's that forward Papali'i into Pine against McLean and Cotter. I think that's where they're going to win the game. Like Cotter again in Origin's amazing, but he doesn't seem to do as much when he's got a Cowboys jersey on as what he pumps out. Hudson Young and Whitehead in the second row. As you said, I also was thinking that both put them down for second half tries, not just this anytime try scorer, but both second half tries. But I think it's going to be the big contest, Rapana against Drinkwater. It's if Drinkwater has one of his better games, they could get the win. But I think Rapana for first try scorer and man of the match.
Beautiful.
In a 13 plus victory.
To the discussion earlier, Elliot Whitehead, someone you'd like the Tigers could use. Now the show's just becoming who
Haven't
should.
haven't you learned your lesson from signing English second rowers?
Yeah, yeah, he's right. We'll move on. Bunnies are hosting the Broncos in the main event, which Cam Murray's back. It's for the first time since round 9. Havili drops out, which is the only change from last week. Willison comes back onto the bench. Fletcher Baker, who's not had the best of times up in Brisbane, goes to the reserves. No issues around at the moment with Katoni Staggs and injury. The Tristan Sailor still won. And yeah, it doesn't look like there'll be any late changes there, just looking at that bench. Did the Broncos bounce back?
I'm going to tip South.
Okay. Wow.
I just think that it'd be Latrell, and you'll know 5 minutes in. If he's on, I think they win, and if he's not on, I think that they'll lose. But yeah, if he can be kicking those bombs like he did last week, I think Sailor might have a bit of an issue under that high ball. But they're on a bit of a roll right now. As we mentioned earlier, Whiten and Walker connecting well in the halves. Their forwards, Kulamatangi playing well. Arrow's been playing well. Murray, Cook going for. They're in a bit of form right now. I think they can get it done. 1 to 12. Latrell Mitchell, man of the match with Jacob Gagai as first try scorer.
Terrified here, but I'm going to tip Brisbane. I think they bounce back. I think they simplify a bit from last week, and it very much becomes the Haas Carrigan Jensen show, and they try and really roll through the middle and set their platform and work out from that. So I'm going to go Paddy Carrigan, man of the match. 1 to 12 Brisbane, and Cobbo defensive edges still a concern here. I think the outside backs here, Staggs and Cobbo, are in this game scoring points. So I'm going to go first try scorer. We'll go with Selwyn, but him setting up Mariner wouldn't surprise me either. Very interesting Friday night. Saturday kicks off at Leichhardt at 3 p.m. with the Tigers hosting the Titans, where Adam Dewey is listed on extended bench. I believe they'll nurse him into first grade via New South Wales Cup, but at the moment they're missing most of their top 30, so who knows?
Is there a reason Buller's not in the one? Or is the NRL app wrong?
No, you're right. I don't know. I don't know why he's listed as 21.
Yeah.
Who is one?
You don't have a one this week. That's why I was asking if there's something going on with the club or something happened.
Unless I've missed something. Because, yeah, even 20 to 22, unless there's some, I don't know, there's a Brett Hodgson tribute day or something. I don't know.
I'm trying to find it. I can't find anything. I've been looking the last couple of minutes to see why there's no one.
Very well. Appy's playing 7, Caesar's playing 6. We're down to the injury wise at the bottom of the barrel. Talon Silva starts at 9. With all due respect, these are talented kids. They're just very experienced. Pole, Fainu, Matamua. I think there's a combined 20 games there between them in the entire back row, which is very concerning given they're up against Fafita, Haas, and Co on the other side. For the Titans, Phil Sammy's back, which pushes Fermo back to the back row. Paliasea back to the interchange. I can't tip the Tigers. I'd love to see some improvement. I'd love to see. I really like Pole, Fainu, and Matamura as players. I hope they have a good outing. But put this way, I shan't be tipping the Tigers for the rest of the season. 13 plus Titans. Feeder's probably going to have a field day and score 175 Supercoach points. And away we go. He'll go first try man of the match. What are you thinking?
So I found it. West Tigers will be resting the number 1 jersey in honour of the late Keith Barnes. This will be the club's first game at Leichhardt Oval since the recent passing of the Tigers legend.
That makes all the sense in the world. Cool.
Okay. Yep. Titans by, pick your line. This could be one of those games where there's going to be 6 Titans players to pick your 3 points from, potentially. I had a feeling I'm actually going to tip
$1.86 3.5 line for the Titans. It's very enticing.
Yeah. I say it though. I think the Tigers might start okay to the point. I'm actually going to go Alex Lobb for the first try.
Yep.
I think the Tigers will start okay, but it'll be like the Dragons. They'll start that first 15, 20 minutes and be right in the contest. And then once they lose momentum, that's when the Titans will run away with it. And yeah, for Feeder to be man of the match, he'll probably score a double. Titans 13 plus. That with a lob anytime try might not be too bad.
That's pretty juicy. The Warriors host the Storm in New Zealand. Another cracker. Sean Johnson's back. He's here. He's at 7. Tamari Martin's at 6. Chanel goes to the bench. Freddie Lussick leaves. RTS is named in the 20 jersey right now. So guess we'll see how that plans out. But just reading here, Webster saying 1 more week.
Yeah, this was a game 3 weeks ago. Melbourne would have been $1.30.
Yes. And now I want to tip the Warriors.
It's almost even money.
Remus Smith is out with HIA. Dean Eremaya plays his first game of the year. And the rest are all pretty standard. Joe Chan's back on the bench. Did you play last week?
Yeah, he was It came in late, I believe.
Yeah. I'm going to tip the Warriors at home. I think they've found some form, and I just think that aura is a little bit off the Storm. The fact that Warriors are now starting to put scores on is what interests me. I don't think they'll put a score on the Storm by any means, but I think they'll score 24 points, and that could be enough. Sort of becoming giant killers these last few weeks. Going to go with Tohu second up now from his spell. Man of the match, you're going to get here in a great forward paddle. And first try scorer, man of the moment, Mitch Barnett on the edge there.
I'm going for Lightning to strike twice, following you in with the Warriors, Chans. Bit like what we chatted about with the review. Melbourne just leaking points.
Mm-hmm.
And with the Warriors' current form, I think it'll be one of those, 30-24 type games. So yeah, Warriors 1-12, with chance to just have another great day. And yeah, it could very well be one of the matches of the round. In saying that, if the Storm ended up coming out and winning by 40, also wouldn't shock me.
Absolutely. I can see 40 in this game though, just to warm your heart. Combank Stadium is the venue for the Eels and the Chooks who are coming off the bye.
Yeah, 40-point margin.
Evo is back. Hopgood's back. And which pushes RC to the bench there. Madison still named in the wider squad, but nothing yet. And the Chooks are all pretty much full strength now. We've got here. Ponga is the only one in.
Suaaliti's still out.
Well, he's suspended, obviously. Yeah. Connor Watson's back too, and he's at 9.
And they've
B. Smith not in the squad.
1 week suspension from the club for missing a meeting.
Yeah.
Where he said he was sleeping. No, he said he was having breakfast with a family member, but then his manager told the club he slept in.
The upshot is he got a breach notice, so he's not here today. How good the future of this club looks for him, to be honest, but there's plenty of jungle drums around that, which we won't go into. Fresh. Connor Watson's back is a big tick. Crichton's had a week off. Everyone had a week off, obviously. Tedesco, Crichton are well and truly over Origin. I love Victor Radley on an edge. I can see 40 here. What's the prices here? $1.44, 6.5 line, $1.90 looks good as well. So yeah,
$1.99. What was it? What was the line?
6.5.
That is better than bank interest.
Yes, I agree. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to have a look at a cheeky multi before we finish the show. But I'm going to Victor first try, like him out there, and I'm going to go James Tedesco, man of the match. He's good at footy.
So this will probably finish.
Joey Martin.
This will probably, Joe. I don't know who to pick as for Supercoach. My captain will be one of the Roosters players. It's probably going to finish about 52-10. Angus first try scorer and James Tedesco man of the match.
Very good. We've got Four Pines Park hosting the Seagulls and the Dragons. Another head scratcher. Oh, yeah. Olakuatu's named, so he only played 20 minutes last week. Nathan Brown is starting with LA out. Bullymore comes onto the bench, and Dragons, as per program from last week. You can have first crack at this one.
Um, again, I think the upset's on the cards. The Dragons. It's another one of those games where either team winning wouldn't shock me. I don't see it being a blowout.
Yeah,
Yeah, close contest again. Dragons aren't going to go out and score 50 again. Manly, you're not going to stop them from scoring 3 to 4 tries at least. Could come down to Garrick's boot again. But yeah, I'll go Dragons in a close one. Lomax just man of the moment, so first try scorer, and it kind of is just Hunt against Cherry Evans, who gets their team on the better roll.
absolutely.
So with tipping the Dragons, I'll go Hunt. But yeah, if I was saying Manly to win, I'd be just swapping that with Cherry Evans. Either way, Lomax first try scorer though.
I don't like the game. I'm going to tip Manly just because my gut is Cherry Evans will get them home, and I just have a feeling coming off 50, Dragons just might not quite turn up again. But I've got no logic to base any of that on. I think this is a really good matchup. I think Dragons are really humming, and I'm nervous, but I'll stick with Manly. First try scorer will go for Lomax as well. I agree with you. I wouldn't like to see Manly have to chase though. I wouldn't like even a 12-point.
Yeah, well, that showed on the weekend.
Exactly right. And yeah, as I said, 1 to 12, DC man of the match, getting them home. Knights host Penrith at McDonald Jones. Fletcher Sharp still in the fullback role, and Bradman Best is named at 4. Dan Saifidi still on the bench, but under a cloud. Dylan Edwards is back for Penrith, as is Liam Martin, both back from Origin duty, taking up their respective spots. Still Jack Cole in the halves, and Dane Laurie, as suggested, is number 14. I am not optimistic. I just think this could play out similar to last week. Penrith will, why not? Invincible will just be better than Newcastle. It'll play out pretty much similarly to both Newcastle's performance against Melbourne and Penrith's performance against Manly, who they beat. Just having those couple of real superstar forwards is going to make a difference. Like Dylan Edwards, another one for an Origin spot to, I guess, claim back if he doesn't already. I'll go with him, man of the match, first try scorer. Now Bizzer's getting some ball; he'll score another one. We'll go 13 plus.
Yeah, well, I was going to say that's the only difference that I had. I was just going Penrith 13 plus. Edwards setting up Toto for a try, one of 3 or 4 that I could see him setting up, or at least having a hand in over the game. But yeah, the big thing here is Best, and see how he does come back. Does he do enough? If it's not Latrell, does he do enough to earn that centre spot in Origin?
Yeah, very good clash out there actually. Both those centres, Tango. Well, both sides can concede points, but both edges can concede points, but both can score them well. So very cracking round of footy. Actually, looking forward to it. Just quickly, the all up of Titans -3.5, Roosters -6.5, Dolphins +9.5. You can get about $7 for that, and I think that's pretty good shopping.
You'd have your whole 50 on it for the Punters Club
if you're doing the punters. You would. What's got you frothing?
Just those games. How close this competition is at this time of year.
Yeah.
You've got there's a handful of games, and it's teams that are being poor to start the season have sort of hit form at the moment. And then some of those sides that had been going very well are sort of coming back to the pack. Outside of the bottom 3 to 4 teams, the rest of the comp, it's almost like 1 to 12. What is it? It's only 2 or 3 wins different from 1st to 12 or something like that.
Yep.
It's just so, it's apart from when those bottom 4 teams are playing, the rest of the games are just really interesting.
Yeah, you could go through this round and tip and get 2 in your tipping and not be shocked.
Yeah.
Be upset, shocked. And tell you what, just quickly on the Bulldogs who've got the bye, it's coming at a great time. Like a couple of good wins and then a nice freshen up, get everyone back on track. Everything's sort of flowing out really well for them.
Yeah, especially with the couple of injuries that they had, the buys come at the perfect time for them.
Yeah, I'm going to say Friday night's got me frothing. Looking forward to both of them, but no, more so actually Saturday, because none of those games will be boring, and I think the Warriors could pull off an upset over there.
That Saturday 7:30 game is going to be pretty boring unless you've got Roosters players in your Supercoach side.
I've got plenty.
I think. I've got 4, and I'm thinking about bringing Tedesco in.
Yeah,
even with 100 BE.
Yeah, just set and forget now.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It. Yeah. Does Edwards get picked for Origin? That's the only thing stopping me.
I think so, but who knows? I don't know. Maybe he's leg full. I don't know.
I wish. Yeah, ideally Edwards would have been playing prior to the Roosters game.
Yeah,
because then if he got through 80, played well, man of the match, that's his spot.
Yeah. Any Supercoach questions or thoughts or ponderances you've had in the last
Well, what was the couple that I sent through? Yeah, that was one of them. The unicorn Garrick. I think everyone just needs to have him in. And then the idea of, I've always been somebody that runs 2 hookers, but the run home for the Storm, is Harry Grant a viable option to just be a sole hooker on the run home?
Depends who else you got. The short answer is your reserves.
Yeah, so, the forwards are fine. I need to get rid of Moses before the end of the year. Once I get Garrick into the CT dub, I'm fairly set there. And then Latrell and Teddy at the back. So, yeah, it's just hookers just this year don't seem to be scoring as many points as what they had in years gone by.
No. I agree. I've got Appy. I'm comfortable enough. I've got Appy and Harry at the moment, and they're doing okay. I've just sold Lockie Galvin. I've actually just nuffed him to Latu Fainu for now, and I've just gone and got Dave for feeder because you'll probably get 700 this week.
Straight at the VC.
I've now exactly, but that's now at a point where I've got on paper right now. This will change 7 times for the weekend. My back row is for feeder, Young, Kai Pearce, Paul Crichton, Samela Fainu, and Alex Seyfarth. So I can viably nuff 2 of them for lots of money. But I might. Yeah. But both those last 2, the 2 Tigers players are going to make money this week, regardless. So I think break even's 5 and 12 or something.
So that's it. So if I end up going the Grant as the sole hooker, means I just got to upgrade Robson.
Yeah.
The front row would then turn into Fanua Blake to Pine, and just got to bring in Ruben Cotter's there currently, but I'm going to move him to the second row and bring in Haas.
Yeah.
Means the second row will be Fafita, Cotter. I've got Nathaniel White at the moment, Isaiah Papali'i, and Burbo will be going for Crichton once he bottoms out in price.
Mm-hmm.
Hughes and Moses. Moses will be going. I just don't know who for yet. Dylan Brown and Tamari Martin. Martin can stay there until he starts losing cash. My CT dubs are Mulatalo, Mazu, Iro, Manu, Young. Just need to pretty much nuff out Kotrick and Gagai to get Garrick in, and then the fullback is Latrell and Teddy.
Yeah, my back, all my backs pretty similar, to be honest.
Yeah, so that's it. There's Garrick, a halfback, Crichton, Haas, Grant, 5 trades.
The days of juicing Talangi over.
Blaze?
Blaze.
Yeah, so Blaze he's going for me this week to get Teddy in.
Yeah.
And then I can bank 300K.
He might be the one that goes for me, actually. I don't think he stays at 600.
No, not against the Roosters. And the thing is, one bad score, and he's going to need 150 plus to hold his.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. If Young wasn't playing the Roosters this week, you could potentially there is a world you cash him out while he's maxed.
Yeah.
With 150 break even, but against the Eels, he could he could score that in the first
Of
half.
course. And by this time, like we actually have to keep some of these players. Like we actually have to run through with these this year. So I like Alamote as a pod.
Yep.
I don't know how he didn't score as more last week, but he's kicking. If he's kicking them for the next few weeks, we can still get something out of him. And yeah, I've got Talangi and Armstrong. I can probably nuff off, and I might do that and just sit on Galvin for a little bit and see how that pans out. But anyway, that's enough of our problems, I suppose.
All good.
Thanks again. Good job.
Thank you.
Do it all again and discuss this pretty good looking round of rugby league and see what we learn as we head towards Origin 2. Leave us some feedback. Leave us your thoughts on everything going on in the rugby league world. And hopefully, by the time we speak again, Dana, there might be little bubs on the sitting next to you on the lounge here.
Well, the lady next to me sure hopes so, that's for sure.
Can't wait. Cool. Good luck.
All good. Thanks, mate.
Thanks, guys.